Hello everyone and welcome back to this onboarding video on Toggl. So this Toggl video will be building on the Trello onboarding video that is also linked on our channel. So please go watch the Trello video first in order to understand how we are linking two applications, so Trello and Toggl together. So today I will again be taking you through how do you create a Toggl account, how do you set it up and share it with us, and then how the two applications of Trello and Toggl will link together. So we'll just jump right straight into it about creating a Toggl account. And then as I go on setting it up, I will also explain step by step why we do things a certain way. So why do we use Trello? Trello is a very useful application for tracking time, and especially tracking time between how much time do you use on each task that your team is doing based on the Scrum process and based on the process of Trello that I showed in the previous video. So let us begin by straight away going on creating your own Toggl account. So here is the Trello board that I created in the last video, and we will come back to this, especially showing how we link the two. But first, just again, open any browser that you have and just write in create Toggl accounts. And here we go, you can just sign up for free and you open it. And very similar process as was in the Trello video, you just sign up with your email and you sign up for free. So here again, I am using the email of this one, which I created for the purpose of this video. I'm saying sign up for free, and they have entered a code for us. So then you just have to go to your email and then verify the code. So I will just change very quickly to the correct email. And here we have the Toggl code, which is here 452032. Here we go. And we verify, and then we just create a password very quickly. So for something that you will remember. So. And voila. And here, once again, you can just skip some of these parts as it will try and just help you set up, but you don't have to describe too much of this. And here we go. So here is the basic look of your Toggl. First of all, one of the first things I would like you to do is put on the timesheet view. Sorry, the list view, because it's just easier to keep track of. So the first thing I would like you to do when you're setting up your Toggl account is once again share it with the member of both of us who you are working with and also your other team members. So how you do that is you go to members and then you go in the top corner. I will move my video, but top corner right here, it says invite members. Once again, this may look slightly different depending if you have an Apple or a Windows software that you're operating with, but still, there should be a section here where you can, once you click on members, you can invite another member. Once again, it's now important to make sure when you are granting the access that the access is for admin so that the other person can also edit when needed and then have full access to your Toggl account. So here we will put my email, BøthOfUs.org, and send the invite link. So now that you've sent the invite link, then I will have access also, or whoever you are working with will also have access to Toggl. Now, to get started, what we need to do first before we start recording anytime is set up one thing, which is projects. Why would we do this? So basically, when you set up projects and you are doing a given task, you assign them to a project. Now, a project can be discussed amongst your team about how you want to name them, but there are three basic ones that we use just to keep track of what category your task falls into. And this will make sense once I create the projects. So for example, the project name here will be one of the first ones, which is business development. So we create access And then from here, you may need to make sure that you invite the members who are also involved with that, so that everybody can see the projects, because otherwise only you will have the view. So you invite your team members. So here, create project. The next project that we want to create up here is the new project button. So the next one we will want to create will be emails and communication. Again, just selecting the members we want to be a part of it. And then the third and final one, internal work, so administration. And once again, inviting the member. Now you can agree upon also other types of projects within your given team. So for example, you could have conducting trainings as another one, or networking, whichever, but this needs to be discussed within your own organization and with both of us, so we all just are on the same page and keep track. So next, how do we then record time, and why is it related to these projects? When you start recording whatever you're doing, there's two important things that you have to do. And here's how we link it to Trello. First of all, you have to write the name of your task, and you have to put the link of the task from your Trello board and assign it to a project. So in practice, it goes like this. So if we return to the Trello board of where you have tasks that you are going to start working on. So for example, the evaluation of a website. When you click here, the easiest way to do this is just replicate the exact same name as on the Trello board and put it in Toggl. So here we have evaluation of website. So that will be, what are you working on? Evaluation of the website. Then you have to go back to Trello and copy the link from the top, like so, and then attach it here to Toggl. And we do this because then when you have a log of what you've been working on, you can always return to whatever Trello task it was. So it never gets lost in the process of what you're working on. And then the second important step is to link it to a project. And there is usually an icon here at the top. So here, when we add lists, assign it to a project, this is why we have our projects that we created. So for example, evaluation of the website, this would be internal work and administration. We can give it as such. So the reason we have these projects is then we can also keep track of what type of tasks your team is working on the most, and making sure that time is distributed where it is necessary. So this also gives you yourselves some data and to help you keep track of what the team is working on. And then when you are ready with this, so you have set up the name of the task, the link to the Trello board, and assigned it to a project, you click Start. And then Toggl will start automatically recording time of how long you've worked on the project. Now, it is very important that you never start a task without starting Toggl, because that is obviously then you keep an accurate record of how much you have worked on a task. Whenever you're taking a break, always remember to stop Toggl as well, so it doesn't keep running. But just in case you make a mistake, what is also nice about Toggl is you can adjust duration. So for example, hypothetically, let's say I forgot to start my Toggl and I started working half an hour beforehand. So I started working at 13:18 p.m. Then we can just enter this in. And as you can see from the top, then Toggl adjusts the time, which is very good, so that you can avoid, if you make a mistake, then you can rectify it very easily. And then Toggl is very forgiving in that sense. If you take a break, for example, you have to stop Toggl, so stop time entry. And this is what it will look like. It will enter the time here. But the nice thing about Toggl is you can always come back to a task. So you don't have to do this again about copying the name of the task, the link, and the project. You can simply press here to continue entry, and then it will do it automatically for you, starting a new time of how much you're now working on it again. And when you stop, then you will see here that there are two entries of how much time you assign to this task. And this doesn't matter how many times you stop it or start it. It's just very important that you do that and you remember to do that. So that is how we link Toggl to Trello. Now I've just put here just a final summarization of this, some golden rules of when you're using Toggl. So never toggle without associating time to a project, so that we can have a more holistic view of how you're working as well. Never toggle without a Trello link to the task. Never work without switching Toggl on, of course. Pause Toggl when you're taking a break or lunch, and stop Toggl when your task is done. Always remember this. This is very imperative. I hope this video was very helpful for you. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to any of us at BøthOfUs.